Now, something weird happened a few days ago, and
if you know you didn't contribute to my struggle, don't show up to my success.
Now this video is proudly brought to us by Boniface Mwangi. He exposed something very sad, something very, very sad. And enough of me talking. Let's just get straight into the video.
David Kolomba Sitanda. Ule kijana ambaye alisema we Ruto ni mwizi.
Wametuzoea sasa. Na Ruto ni mwizi sana.
Ndio mama yake. Tumeka kumtembelea. Tukapa kupatana na wale vijana wengine ambao walikuwa na David wakati wa maandamano ya shule ya Langata Primary School miaka 11 iliyopita. Lakini tukaona badala kupatana tukue na sherehe, ilikuwa Valentine, tukasikia habari za huzuni sana kwamba David aliaga, alienda Russia.
In case you don't understand what's happening, this guy is David, okay? Now David, the video you've been shown was him, I think it was 11 years ago.
But come 9 a.m., this state of affairs would change.
Okay? There was this MP then, William Ruto. He was an MP then for, I think, Langata. And he wanted to take their school playground and turn it into a parking lot for his hotel. His hotel is just next to the school. And he was planning on taking the school playground and turn it into his parking. So now, he was a student in that school at that time. And he was calling him out. You understand? Okay? Yeah, that was the situation that was happening. Now, the mother contacted Boniface Mwangi and he told him, and the mother told him, you know what, do you remember that kid who was fighting for their playground? He's dead. What do you mean, he's dead? What happened? That's what we're about to find out up to now. Do you understand me up to that point? Slowly too.
Kwa majina ni Barbara Rael, mimi ni dada yake David. Tumeishi pamoja kutoka kwa mdogo na sana, in fact alikuwa anatupenda sana kuliko yeye mwenyewe.
David alikuwa miaka mingapi na kabla ile Russia alifanya kazi gani?
Anafanya mjengo.
The guy went to the Russia-Ukraine war. He was recruited to go and fight in the Russia-Ukraine war, bro. That's why he's dead. That's why I'm sad. That's why I'm really sad. I don't know. For some weird reason, nakwaga weird. Whenever I see men with such great potential wasting their lives, wasting themselves, I'm dying because of whether suicide, I'm for example in this situation, war. And you know this war, we were not involved with the war. I don't even know how, somehow, some way, they came for Africans. When it started, I remember, especially remember the time, the little things I remember was, in Ukraine was like men of a certain age cannot leave. The women, the children, the old people, not all of them, but the older people, they were all allowed to leave the country because the war was coming. And bro, I remember seeing videos of children who are not even trained, who are not even ready to fight. Youth, boys, men, young men who have never carried a gun, they were supplied with guns. That's all I remember. And on the Russian side, the same way. You get? Some people got to live their lives. Most were forced to fight in the war. I don't know how it came. And now Kenyans, now Africans are being recruited to go and fight there. I don't understand that. Okay? I don't understand that. Because it's not our war. They've already finished their people. They've already finished majority of their people. Why are they coming to get us? And that is the point where we want to go to. Okay? Now, the woman who was speaking before her, it was the sister, and she was saying how the brother loved them more than he loved himself. And the mother was asked, before David went to Russia, what was he doing? And he explained he was doing construction. Now, let me tell you, construction is like the one job anyone in Kenya who has no experience in life, if you have no skill, like you have nothing to your name, nothing in your head, nothing, you are empty. If you even have no brain, but your brain can only operate your hands and your legs, you will be sent to construction. Not even sent, you just find yourself in the construction. I have worked in the construction multiple times. I have tried being in the construction because I had nothing in my brain. I had something in my brain, but I did not have the confidence to pursue that thing. So now I had to settle for the construction job. Okay? So we continue.
Aya kuorganize dodo, akakuja akaenda Somali kwanza. Kwenda Somali akakuja akaenda Canada. Kurudi sasa alikuwa anasema yeye amekaa na do, lazima atafute kitu ya kufanya.
Now the mother is saying he first went to Somali, came back, went to Canada, then came back, and he was like, he wants to find something to do. Literally, this kid does not like just sitting around idling. That is such a powerful man. That's why the story is really sad. Like he's a hustler. He's a go-getter. He's a man who's after his purpose, and his purpose is fight against poverty. He does not want to be idle. He does not want to be poor. He doesn't want to be broke. So he will do anything. And bro, I've also went to Somalia, by the way. Let me just tell you. Construction took me to Somalia. I went there to build houses, and it was fun. And it ended. Right now, I think right now it's Ramadan. Since it's in Ramadan, I think around this time is when we went there. But we went there around March. I remember it was around March 26th, March 29th. Because I remember it was in 2020. Oh my God, it's been 6 years ago. What the hell? Time is flying, man. And I remember it like it's yesterday. Oh, damn. Yeah, wow. So, sorry, it's not my story. It's David's story. So, you understand up to there. Like this guy, he's a purposeful man. He's a go-getter. He hates poverty. He hates being idle. He does not want to live without chasing his dream. He doesn't want to live the life. Ama doesn't want to live this life without some ching-ching in his pocket. Okay, he's a go-getter. So I want you to understand how he found himself in Russia. He's been in Somalia. He's been to Canada. I don't know why he went to Canada then came back. I would love to understand the situation in Canada, because I think Canada is better than Somalia by far. I don't know. I'm just guessing. Okay?
Lakini hizi rudi mjengo tena because David akumaliza akuenda from
high school. Then nilimwambia ende Russia.
Now the mother said David never went to high school. He dropped out. I don't know the reasons why he dropped out. Maybe it's because of funding. And it's so funny right now, we're just seeing David's mother. We're not seeing David's father. So maybe because of circumstances, because, high school is expensive here. High school is very expensive. So maybe that is what led him not to go to high school. Could it be that this whole time, while people were in high school, he was in Somalia? But can you travel alone without an ID? I don't think so. Maybe he was in construction. When others were in high school, he was in construction. Man, this guy has really seen a tough life. Like Monate maisha hard sana. He was tough and he had to grow up early. He had to grow up fast, He had a body of a boy, but the mind of a man. Like he had the body of a boy, but the experiences of a man early on in life. And you know how sometimes that can build you, and you also know how sometimes that can break you. Russia. I'm sick of this Russia, to be honest. Russia hasn't been in the best of late in Kenya. Anyway, how did he find himself in Russia?
Watu nasema kuna marafiki.
Alikuwa na namba mingi za watu wa nje kwa simu yake. Like simu yake ungepata contact ya Kenya.
Unaenda country gani? Kwanza ananiambia tu Germany. Kidogo Europe. Ndio akakuja katukalisha chini. Mimi alinionyesha tu naenda hii country hivi kwa simu.
Country gani?
Russia.
Alikuwa anafanya nini Russia?
Walikuwa member tunaenda kugada. Sijui ni fields ama ni nini. Kuchunga ni kama mauchi.
Hii ndio contract walipewa. Na hakuna ya kizungu, walipewa karatasi ambayo wajui. Kama sign.
So he told the mom he was going to work abroad. First he came up with Europe, then he came up with Germany. Then in the end, she showed her picture of the flag of the country which he was going to, which was Russia. And then they were given a contract. And the contract was written in Russian. It wasn't in English or in Swahili. So this guy signed. Imagine he was signing a contract written in the foreign language, which is Russian. Sawa. Now, according to them, they were told they were going there to guard. They were like watchmen. I don't know if, like the security, I don't know if, like security guard. Like in Kenya, like in every, let's say, next state, there are watchmen. They are like security guard. People who stand there and guard the place. In case you're going inside the supermarket, that this guy who, there's this thing, I don't know what it's called, but it makes that sound. Okay, and there are guys who are checking your car, checking your bag, checking, like, I know they're in other countries, but I just want you to understand. They thought that was the job they were going to be given. They were going to guard, I think, the gate or something. Little did they know.
Hapo ulikuwa naambia usiongee, usiulize maswali. You just sign.
Alifika vizuri, akaniambia huku penye wako, hatutakuwa tuna communicate sana, but atajaribu. The last days akaniambia wameenda mission ya kwanza na wamekuwa ambushed, lakini good thing ali survive.
Now before they signed the contract, they was just told you're not gonna ask any questions. You're just gonna sign it and you're gonna go. You're not gonna talk back. You're not gonna question anything. We just need your signature and here's our air ticket. We will tell you the rest once he gets there. So the sister is saying that he went there and he told them, I will not be communicating as often as I used to communicate when I was in those other countries. Like I will not be communicating the same way because I was communicating when I was in Somalia or in Canada or in, what was the other one? Was it the other one? In Qatar, okay? I will not be communicating the same. Sawa. Yeah, so then he told the sisters today they went on a mission and that's when you see him like dabbing his friend and it was successful. Okay? Yeah.
Hizo documents nimekutumia ni zenye kesho naenda mission. Na in case of anything utapigiwa simu waambiwe if kama nimekufa ama kama ndakuwa hai. So kama ndakuwa nimego utachukua hizo documents utazipeleka kwa immigration ama kwa embassy. Utaclaim, utasema mimi mtoto wako, kila kitu utapeana, kuna paycheck utapatiwa.
Focus. So he sends the mom a document and he tells the mother, I've sent you documents, okay? And in those documents, there's a mission we're going to tomorrow, okay? Now, in case I don't make it, you will go to the Russian embassy and then you will claim that you are my mother, say there's some money which will be given, okay? Once you get there at the embassy, in case I die from the mission, okay?
Ule mata inherit mzazi wangu. Nawapenda sana mkae poa.
A week akijiongea. Sasa ndo beshte yake, Mkaris alitutext, akatuambia Davis no.
So, 1 week they haven't spoken. And now the friend who they were with, David, back then in Russia, texts them and tells them, David's no more. David's gone. So whichever voice note he sent, this one here,
Ule mata inherit mzazi wangu. Nawapenda sana mkae poa.
the last message he was gonna send to them, you go claim the money and I love you guys so much.
Alihitiwa na hiyo message.
Walikuwa Kenya wangapi kwa hiyo mission? Unajua?
Mimi alinitext akaniambia walikuwa watu 46. Only 2 survived.
So according to the friend, there were 46 guys on that mission and only 2 of them survived. Kenyans. There were 44 Kenyans on that mission and only 2 of them, no, there were 44 for the 46 soldiers in that and only 2 survived.
Waliambia utalipa pesa ngapi?
Kwa Karisa alikuja akanipatia namba ya mwenye aliwareceive. Huyo ndiye aliniambia tinafaa kwa compensated $100,000.
Huo ni Kenya mwenye aliwapeleka huko.
Ni Mrussia.
Mwenye aliwarisi.
Aliwarisi huko.
Ukiwa Russia, alikuwa analipa mshahara.
Alifanya tu kitu for only 2 months. Akasema mam, niko na pesa mingi kwa account, ningeweza kutuma lakini huku sijui kuko under sanctions.
There's a guy who received David on the other side. So David sent the number to the mother of the guy who received them. And remember when I told you, in case something happens to David, the mother is gonna go to the Russian embassy and claim. So apparently she was gonna receive $100,000. That's the amount of money she was gonna receive over there. But now me, a question I'm asking: can this $100,000 cover up for the life of David? Was David's life worth $100,000? Huh? In a war he did not start. In a war he did not even understand how it started. Okay? You go, you die, and your family is given $100,000. So the life of a Kenyan man is $100,000. And that's not all. Also, when he was there, he was being paid. He only served there for 2 months. Imagine, 2 months. He was being paid. All the money David had there died with him. He never got to send any of them because they were told there's a sanction. So you cannot send money normally because, there's a war going on. So obviously things are not the same way they used to be. And I don't understand why they haven't put certain things in place where, as much as we are in war here, most Africans who are going there, they are going there because of poverty in our own countries. I will come back to that point. This video is almost over. Let's first finish this and then I will say what I need to say.
But nothing. Government haisemi kitu yoyote, yani ukweli juu ya watu wenye wako Russia, na ni wengi sana. Ni wengi. Wacha venye Mudavadi anasema ni 200.
The government is not saying anything. The government is not saying anything. The government is not even being truthful. The amount of Kenyans who are in Russia, when they are asked the CS of, employment abroad, Musalia Mudavadi, he's just saying it's 200. But the people there, remember, the people there who are in Russia, they're saying a totally different story. So now I don't understand who is lying here. I don't understand what really is happening here. Because they cannot give us a certain number telling us you've employed 200 people in Russia. But then there, the story, the people in the ground, usually here in Kenya we say, kwa ground vitu ni different. In the ground, things are different. On the ground, things are different. Things are not what they seem to be.
Kama wenye wamekufa tupatie mwili za watoto wetu.
And David's mother is just saying, if they are dead, just give us the bodies of our children. We want to bury them. So, I will say this. I hope I don't get in trouble, but if I do, it is what it is. We do not have structures in place that can create at least inadequate employment. You get? These days, it happened the other day, for you to join the Kenyan army, people are paying up to 100,000. That is Kenya shillings. People are paying up to 300,000 Kenya shillings just to get into the Kenyan army or to get into the Kenya police. Before, they used to make it fair where everybody will come, you will come into the recruitment. You will try your luck. If you qualify, you go. If you don't qualify, maybe you might try next year if you are in that age bracket where you can still be employed by the Kenya police. These days, people pay. And sometimes you find there are some people in the army already. Maybe they have a father, they have an uncle, they have a friend of the brother, a friend of the uncle, or they used to go to school with the father and he's in the army. What he will do, he will, handpick you and place you in the army because he has to do favor either for the father, you understand what I'm saying? But this has nothing to do with the army. This is just about the corruption that is going around the country. We have really let ourselves down. And every day, if you see someone like David, you can see David is a hustler. David is a go-getter. There are millions of Davids in Kenya. Why do you think the Gen Zs are so angry? Why do you think the Gen Zs always want to go after the government's neck? It's because we want to work. We want to be productive. We want to make sure at least at the end of the day, we are seeing, results. We want to at least have nice cars, nice houses. We at least want to afford stuff. We want to live in our own houses. We want to have our own lives. We cannot be dependent on the family. We cannot be dependent on people, our favors. And not all of us can work in construction. Let me just be honest. Construction is the one job in Kenya, bro. You get paid shit. You get paid garbage. You cannot survive on the construction money unless you're not living unless you live there in the construction site. Your clothes are there. Food, you cannot even afford some food. I'm telling you, you cannot even afford yourself with the Kenyan construction salary. Leave alone trying to have a family. Leave alone trying to have a life. And the job in Azaga, it starts from 8, sometimes it ends at 4 or it ends at 5. Okay? 8, 9, 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay? 8 good hours. Working like a effing slave. Sawa? Only for you to be given like, it's like, how much? Inawanga so saba. In American dollars, it's $5. So for 8 hours, you get paid $5 for 8 hours of work. And trust me, it's work. You get paid $5. Okay? And this is like the regular pay. This is like the person who's like at the bottom. Like people without experience, people without anything. Okay? And then again, so there's like, let's say, what's it called? Kuna msi anafanya kazi, yu mtu kama mjengo, like fundi analipwa ngapi? Fundi analipwa 1,500. 1,500, if you convert it to US dollars, it's 11.62 US dollars. This is like what's it called? Let's say, for example, the plumber, the electrician, the guys who does masonry. Those are paid 1,500 Kenya shillings. So basically, you cannot do anything, okay? Because with that 700 Kenya shillings you've been paid, there's transport there, and there's supposed to be food there. And on top of that, you're supposed to save some, and you're supposed to pay rent, and you're supposed to even try and do some things for yourself. But bro, it's just impossible. You cannot do it. So I understand where David is coming from. I understand where he's coming from. Because if it was me given that option, I would rather go and die in a war rather than to see me waste my life in something yenye nakaka slavery kwangu. Kwa sababu mjengo Kenya ni ka slavery. Tuambiane ukweli. Niende nikufe kwa vita huko. Why should I be struggling here to try and make a living yet? I will never even if I wanted to. Unless I do some scamming, unless I do some weird stuff. Maybe I'm selling drugs. Maybe if I'm connected to like a big politician, I'm a big businessman doing some stupid errands. Chances are I might never get to live a good life right now in Kenya. Chances are I might never get to be rich like that. Na hiyo salary ya construction. With the little experience I have, it's gotten to a point you cannot even grow, and you work every day. I think the only days wingine is Saturday na Sunday ndo wingiagi mjengo saa zingine, but by the time Saturday na Sunday imefika hauna hata hiyo nguvu. No, I'm lying. Saturday you go half day, or on Saturday you go half day, so the only day you're not working is on Sunday. This is why this is in construction. Sawa bro. And do you know how many people want to work in that construction? People are like, bro, I'd rather suffer here than just to be broke. And then there's some people who are like me, I'd rather go suffer somewhere instead of suffering there. Because we all want a good life. We all need a good life. All of us want these things. But the government is promising us that there are favors out there. Like there's better living out there. There are better opportunities out there. And they're selling us these dreams. They're making us believe them. And we believe them. Some parents believe them to the point they give them their children. Okay, my boy just wants to do something. This boy has been here suffering. He's gone to university. Mind you, most of the people you see these days who are unemployed, they have degrees. They are learned. Bro, they are learned. Experienced. Sawa. You have intelligent people who are employed. And you find some people, the jobs they are working, it's not the job they studied in university, bro. Because here the enemy is poverty. We hate poverty like hell. We hate poverty like a disease. We do not want to be poor. We do not want to suffer. So I understand the mindset where I would rather go and fight in a war there. At least I might die, I might live. But I'd rather not suffer here because there's nothing here to look up to. That is why sometimes you'll find so many youth in Kenya wako depressed kwa sababu hakuna kitu. Yet every day you see the politicians driving big cars, living in good cars, in good houses, in good estates, bro. You see them in their businesses, flourishing businesses, bro. Them, they are traveling in choppers. Choppers daily, moving from point A to point D. Chopper. Designer shoes, designer clothes, designer ties, designer glasses. Like everything to them is designers, bro. While the normal people are suffering, my guy. Suffering, and you're wondering, any government gani tuko na? Who are the people tuko na in government? Who? There are some places that there are not even hospitals. There are not even adequate roads. Like, hakuna hata mabarabara za kwenda kutaidia watu. Hakuna hospitali, hakuna madawa, hakuna. The other day umesikia SHA, 11 billion was stolen from SHA. They don't know where 11 billion went to. They don't know where, they cannot trace where 11 billion went to. That's our government. So me understand the mindset to come a David, because he says, bro, if I'm gonna suffer here in this slavery ya Kenya, ya hakuna opportunity, I'd rather go somewhere, fight in a war, nikufe tu niondoke maisha. Because either way, mbona nibaki hapa nikiteseka, natesekea nini? Chances are, most of the people who are even suffering here, wanajua, they will never get to see uko like in their old age. By the time they get to their old age, they'll be worn out, suffered enough, like there's nothing left in them, a shell of them. So sometimes they are like, me atadedi tu nene nikufe, I'd rather just go and die in the war. And the government is selling it like, yo, the opportunity is there. Bring your doctors, bring your nurses, bring your engineers, bring your plumbers, bring your teacher. There's job outside. Okay. Are they really legit jobs? Are they? Not all of them. And it's sad. Now the kid is dead. And you can see the family was dependent on him. You can just see the family was dependent on him. Up to date, they still haven't received a single cent from the Russian government. His life, they took his life away. And I can only imagine how they treat them after they are dead. I can only imagine, because, you know, it is not their people. The way we handle our funeral is different than, I am assuming, than them. Besides, they were at war. So how many people do you think they have died there? Do you think they'll still handle those people, the casualties, the same way they'll be handling them? Do you think they will handle the casualties the same way it started than now? They will not. It will be really different, bro. They will not handle them the same. Right now, I think they are, what's it called? Immune to it. They are desensitized to it. So they might even leave the body there, where it rot. Or they might put them in a ditch somewhere. Yeah, that's a young soul, bro, dead. Gone. Goals, dreams, everything, gone. Mother has lost his child. For what? For what? A government in Yate easy to recognize. A government does not even give a F about us. Huh?